Look, am I happy the Yankees have started with 3 straight series wins? Yes. Yes, I am. But I have a few gripes with this team because the 4 losses we have on the year, all 4 of them were heavily winnable games. And other than last night's loss, the offense has done its job. Giancarlo Stanton is on one this year. Gleyber Torres is having a better season so far than 2019. Aaron Judge keeping up the same historical pace. This offense is fine. We even have Franchi Cordero doing damage for this team. Let's look at those 4 losses, right? Those 4 losses, every single one came when either Clark Schmidt or Domingo Germán has been starting. Domingo Germán had a slightly okay stat line last night, but I'm not letting him off the hook because he is so lucky he did not have an astronomical amount of runs to his name. Thank you, Colton Brewer, for getting us out of that bases loaded, no outs jam. This has to change. Clark Schmidt cannot be pitching at a major league level, and Domingo Germán should not be starting at a major league level. I've always said I think Germán is a lot better than Clark Schmidt. That does not mean that I think Domingo Germán is a good starting pitcher. He's not. He is serviceable. He is average, mediocre, but I also think Clark Schmidt is absolute bag of shit. We don't have any other option other than Domingo Germán and Johnny Brito. And Johnny Brito looks like the next best thing for the Yankees. And what's the thing about Johnny Brito, Nestor Cortez, and Garrett Cole that has made them succeed this year? Limiting damage. That's their best key, especially Johnny Brito. He comes into that Baltimore game in the first game of the series. He gets into a first inning jam. It was the second game, my fault. Saturday night, he gives up his first run of his career. But what does he do? He executes. And he ends with 5 innings of 1-run ball. He limits damage and he does a good job of coming back after struggling in the previous innings. That's what a professional does. Limits damage. Night in, night out. You limit the damage you give up. Something that Domingo and Clark do not do is limit the damage. They let it fester. They were bringing up how emotional Clark Schmidt is. You can't be emotional on that mound. We see how emotional Domingo gets. It shows. When things start to tumble, they go downhill. Both of them have mental issues on the mound. I'm not saying real life mental issues. I'm saying they can't get over things. They have long-term memories. And in baseball, that is not a good thing. You need a short-term memory when you're on that mound. It looks like Johnny Brito has that. It seems as though Nestor Cortez thinks everything is funny. That's how you want to do it on the mound. You cannot be playing with this emotional badge of like everything hurts. Because if everything hurts, it's going to affect how you pitch the next guy. And then if you give up a base hit to the next guy and that now hurts, you're now going to give up some shit to the next guy. It's a tumbling effect. The domino effect, I should say, where one thing falls and your whole entire outing goes downhill. Both Clark Schmidt and Domingo Germán have that. It has costed this team a few games that have been so winnable. That game in Baltimore, we should have won 100%. If Clark Schmidt was not on that mound, we win that fucking game. I guarantee it. If Clark Schmidt was not on that mound, if Frankie Montas was on that mound, we win. Last year's Frankie Montas too. We win that fucking game. And I get it. Injuries suck. But until we get those guys back, it's going to be a struggle watching Clark Schmidt and Domingo Germán struggle and crawl their way to the finish line up until Rodon is back, up until Sevy's back, and then maybe eventually once Montas is back. But even when Montas is back, now this is becoming an official 5th starter battle with him and Brito. Because that's the bright side of this video. Let's go to that. Johnny Brito has been a shining light out of this young core of pitchers pitching this year because of injuries. He's come in and looked like the veteran out of the crew. Domingo Germán is the true veteran. He's been around the longest. So like veteran status, it would go to Germán. But Brito is pitching like he has Domingo Germán's experience. He's pitching well above his years. And while Clark Schmidt and Domingo Germán are letting everything get to them, Johnny Brito looks stoic on the mound. He's able to execute at a high level. And when he doesn't, like I said before, what's the key of this video? Limiting damage. He'll understand how to calm himself down and execute pitches when it matters most. I've loved the way that Johnny Brito has pitched up to this point. Like I just said before, it'll now be a very good competition between him and Frankie Montas for who's going to get that official 5th starter. Early on, I thought we had no other choice. It's going to be Montas, and I do believe in Montas. If Montas comes back to the way that Oakland A's Montas pitched, he's going to win this 5th starter job. And he'll be pitching like a 3, maybe even a 2 on most teams. But if he's back to early Yankees Montas, and look, I know he was injured, which is why I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But if he pitches the same exact way, giving up the same exact shit, not giving us what he did in Oakland, Johnny Brito is right there, nipping at his heels. And that's what I love to see out of our young pitchers. Because, again, this offense has been perfectly fine. Other than last night's game, which was very frustrating to watch, with Gleyber Torres on second, watching Judge get into a check swing pop out, Stanton get into a freaking infield fly, get a ground out to end the inning. It was annoying to watch that game. But again, you are going to get some of those. It's a 162 game year. You are going to get a couple offensive shitters. The problem is when your pitching is inconsistent, even your best offensive days may not be enough. And that is a problem, because when your offense scores 5+, that should be almost automatic. And when it's not, it's a problem. And it's starting to become a problem. But anyways, guys, sorry this had to be a downer of a video, but I feel like it had to be said. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. And I'll hope to see you guys next time with a series win in Cleveland. Take care and peace.